sprinklered room and show the difference. I got some times for you of some responses that we've had recently that'll show you why we think it's important to have sprinklers in your home. January of this year, over on Park Street, about 8 o'clock at night, we had a fire there. A small fire. Our response time there was 1.5 minutes. I don't know if everybody knows where Park Street is. It's about 2 blocks away. It took us about 1.5 minutes to get there. One of the things we got to consider with that is how long was the fire burning before it was discovered, and then reporting that fire to 911. Our dispatch center, which is located in Frankfort, has 90 seconds to take in that information and relay that information to the fire department. So if a fire was burning for 1 minute before it was discovered, it takes another 1.5 minutes to notify the fire department. And then it takes us time to dress up in our turnout gear and then respond to that fire. And in that case, from the time we got the call till we were on the scene was 1.5 minutes. In contrast to that, a couple weeks ago, we had a fire out on Ottawa Drive. Ottawa Drive is one of the far northeast portions of our fire district. It's one that's a far travel for us. Also out on Ottawa Drive, there's no fire hydrants out there. So that's another thing we have to consider, is bringing our own water with us. That fire, to get out there, took us just under 8 minutes. 7 minutes and 45 seconds to get out there to even find out what was on fire there. And again, we got the 90-second dispatch time and the time it took for dispatch to get notified. How long was it burning before they were notified? Both of those fires were small fires and minimal damage to both houses. Some other times, a fire goes to flashover in about 8 minutes. So with that one on Ottawa Drive, if that was a significant fire, it could have flashed over in about 8 minutes. And we're going to show that here with what flashover is. Flashover is where a fire goes from being a small fire in the room to the whole room being on fire. And with flashover, we get ceiling temperatures of about 1,200 degrees Fahrenheit. So it gets pretty hot there. A room that's flashed over, as you'll see tonight, there's nobody that survives a room in flashover. So that's why it's important for us to get there early. And when we're looking at 8 minutes for us to get somewhere, you'll see that it goes to flashover. There's no chance of survivability at that point. And we'll see with the sprinklered room that we have time to get to the fire. So go ahead and get dressed out there. What we're going to do today is we're going to light a fire in our unprotected room. This is probably typical of most of your houses here in Manhattan or near Manhattan. It's an unsprinklered room. All we have in there is a smoke detector, just like you would have at your house, and some regular room furnishings. There's nothing special in this room. All this stuff is stuff that you might have at home. What I'd like everybody to do is pull out your phones, and I want you to start a stopwatch on your phone, and we'll time the fire, how long it takes to get it started, and I'll give you some markers of where we're at with the fire. Are you guys ready? All right, Chief, we're ready. Another thing is with the wind blowing, the wind seems to be blowing that way. So just kind of think of that with the smoke. We'll, hopefully it cooperates with us here. Alright, ready? Okay, go ahead and start your timers. Now we've got smoke in the room. We can see some flames now. We got the smoke detector going off now. At this point, we're at 30 seconds. Fire may not have even been discovered at this point yet. We got the couch is on fire now. The curtains have been consumed. We're right at a minute now. So if the fire's been discovered, we've got another minute and a half before our dispatch is notifying us. We got pretty good fire going there. I don't know if you guys can you guys feel the heat? It's a little warm here. We're at a minute and a half right now, and we're probably a flashover right there. Go ahead. That was right at 2 minutes when they put the fire out. So 2 minutes and it went to flashover. Like I said, our dispatch has a minute and 90 seconds, a minute and a half to make notification to us after they've received the call. Our next room that we're going to do is a sprinkler building. And what we have in there is a small sprinkler head. In this building, we've got just one sprinkler head. And you're going to see that this sprinkler head's going to put out enough water to contain this fire, to give us enough time to get there, extinguish the fire, and rescue anybody that might be trapped. In your typical residential home that would be sprinklered, you have a small sprinkler head like this, and they can hide these above the ceiling so they're virtually invisible. They've Alright, you guys ready? Go ahead and light this one. Alright, if anybody's got their stopwatches here, we're going to light this one. Alright, we've got a fire in our sprinkler room now. Again, this room is basically the same room as before. 11 seconds and we got the smoke detector going off. We're at 24 seconds. Our sprinkler head in that room just went off. We'll try to let it go to 2 minutes, guys. We'll try to let it go to 2 minutes. We're at 40 seconds. Our fire's much smaller than what we had in the other room. We got some smoke. There's going to be some damage. But this is still a survivable fire. If somebody were trapped in that house, they'd still be able to get out. We're at 1 minute. smoke, but the heat damage is not there, and we can still go in and rescue somebody. What that one sprinkler head is doing is it's holding that fire in check, giving us our time to get there. We're at a minute and a half. At this point, if the fire was discovered immediately after it was lit on fire, our dispatch would be making notification to the fire department, allowing us to start gearing up and start heading out to the fire. We're at minute 51. We still haven't reached flashover like the other building did. This room's not going to go to flashover because of that sprinkler head. Go ahead, guys. That's our 2 minutes. They don't have a lot of fire to put out now. Hey, what's that lamp look like, Dan? Bring that lamp out to me. Yeah, you got, go ahead and bring that out. I'm going to bring out the lamps. This is the lamp that was in the sprinkler room. It's wet, but it's still in one piece. Unburned, really. This is the lamp that was in the unprotected one, and you can see the damage that was done to that. The rest of the room is very similar. If there counts, we burned off all the covering all the way down to the outside of it. That counts, it burned the one end where the fire started. The fire was started with just normal combustibles. There's a newspaper and a trash can in both scenarios.
Silver Cross Hospital to show what we can do for you, and the Will County Health Department is here. Special thank goes to 1-800 Board Up, who is providing the water for us tonight, and to the Northern Illinois Fire Sprinklers Advisory Board that gave us the props so we can show you the need for fire sprinklers in your home. Enjoy your night here. Make sure you talk to all the vendors and everything. Ask any question you want. And thanks again for coming. Thanks.
So they're going to do the flags and we're going to do the pledge.
Okay, we're going to start the flag ceremony, and once they get them in place, we'll do the Pledge of Allegiance. So everybody pay attention, come on up, and take your hats off when it's time.
Color guard attention. Color guard, forward march. Color guard talk. Color guard prepare to post the colors. Color guard post the colors. Please join us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I'd like to everybody take off their hats, and we'll start the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Scouts, about face. Color guard, forward march. Color guard.
Very good. My name's Officer Don Hartsock. I'm with the Orland Park Police Department. I'm one of our drone operators. We've had the privilege of being invited here tonight to explain a little bit of how technology is advancing with law enforcement. We've had the privilege of obtaining a drone, I have to give a lot of kudos to my deputy chief, Joe Mitchell. He's really one that spearheaded this last year. We had to jump through a lot of hoops with the Federal Aviation Administration. Most people probably realize that the federal government likes to control a lot of things. So henceforth, there's 6 of us that initially obtained authorization. We had to get private pilot's license in order to fly the drone. We had regulations that were set up by the FAA, which they only had they had the last effort. They had to say, you can do this. So we figured we were going to be stuck in our own little town. But then everything being said and done, the FAA started to come around, gave us authorization, so we can fly it anywhere now. We've been utilized not only in our town, Tinley Park. We're more than willing to help our agencies around our community if they can utilize this program. If they don't have it for themselves, we'll try to help out any way we can. A little background on what we utilize the drone for. Probably wondering with the police. No, we do not spy on people with the drone. Okay, we'll get that misnomer out of the way. Most of the utilization of the drone is going to be for lost children. You may have grandparents that experience Alzheimer's and walk out of the house. Children that may have autism have a tendency to walk out of the house. Well, when you're in a squad car driving around a neighborhood, it's kind of hard to cover a lot of territory, especially if you don't know which way you're going to look. So the drone allows us the opportunity to cover a lot of space very quickly, and that way hopefully find the individual we're looking for, call in the other troops to go and intercept them, and then give them the assistance they need. The drone authorization can also allow us, God forbid, we don't like to think about it, but if there was ever a natural disaster, tornado, flooding up north, we can utilize the drone in order to assess situations, search and rescue, get an overview of what the damage could have been. Traffic crashes. We have authorization if we have the unfortunate situation where major traffic crashes happen. The drone allows us to get an overview for our traffic crash reconstructionists in order to do their job more efficiently, because we can take these pictures. Trying to think of some of the other things it's almost endless. The technology that we have here, what you see is a DJI Phantom 4 Pro. Now, we started out the program with the DJI Phantom 3, then they came up with the 4, then the 4 Pro, and now they got a 4 Pro Plus. These things are getting to be like cell phones. Technology moves so fast, you just want to keep getting the new ones as they come up. One of the next things that we have authorization on, which is real nice, we are going to get, I don't know if anybody is aware of the term a FLIR camera, an infrared camera, usually utilized on helicopters and the military, stuff like that. Well, now they make one that we're going to be able to attach to one of our drones, so we're going to have authorization to fly at night. So now we're going to have the ability, if we have somebody who walks off at night, we're looking for somebody that may be hiding in an area somewhere. It's going to have that technology available to us in the very near future. One of the nice things about the Phantom is it's got a 4K camera on it. It's a very high quality camera. Everything we do gets recorded. Everything we do gets recorded. That is a regulation that is maintained. So that way, everything we do can be looked after by another agency, federal government, state attorney's office, and all of that. Not only can it be utilized for the benefit of prosecuting criminals if that situation happens to arise, but it also makes sure that law enforcement agencies are kept in check with these things. Because we'd like to think that everybody does everything great, but we also want to make sure that we got somebody watching over us to make sure there's no violations and that this is utilized in its appropriate manner. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a little demonstration of it. I'll be happy to answer any questions. I'm trying to go through this a little bit ad lib. Regulations regarding this, that's one thing I wanted to cover. Some of the things that we have to be aware of is the Federal Aviation Administration controls everything in the air. Okay, a lot of departments in our village itself is going to come out with ordinances because the recreational use of these things are becoming more increasing. So what we do is basically mimic the FAA regulations. They're pretty tight, they're pretty strict. Okay, we can operate up to 400 feet in the air. Now I can operate on a range of close to 4 miles with this. Okay, it has that ability, obviously, a lot of things come into play, interference with the radio signal and that, so it's not like it's just a given that it's 4 miles. You cannot fly over stadiums, you cannot fly over crowds, you cannot fly near airports. Now I can if I get the air traffic controller authorization to do so. So if I happen to conduct something for an agency near an airport, I have to get in touch personally with the air traffic controller to get authorization to fly. This is all through the Federal Aviation. Recreational drones follow the same guidelines, okay? You may see certain things happen with people with the recreational drones. Again, the laws are established, sometimes not always followed, but that are the guidelines that are set by the FAA. And if anybody is interested in getting into flying a drone or getting one of their drones, you can go on the FAA website. They have the guidelines and what you need to do in order to operate one of the drones. So, what I will do is get the
You can hide
Okay. Huh?
You do it on the computer.
Depending on the circumstances, yes. Yes, we can utilize them for, like I said, we've had it where somebody thought there was somebody on a building, a rooftop, something like that. Yes, we can absolutely utilize them for that purpose. Glasses too. I wasn't used to be. I know. Now while I'm getting this ready, some of the things that we do is whenever I'm working on the street, or one of my partners that actually flies the drone as well, we always carry these with us at all times. With this particular unit, if I get called to a scene where we need to utilize it, maybe somebody's running, maybe somebody's missing, I can have this up out of the box within the air in about 3 minutes if I had to. So with the technology as it increases, now our old unit would take about 5. And I know it doesn't sound like a lot of time, but when you're looking for somebody running, 5 minutes is a long time. 3 minutes is a lot better. These are progressing as we go along, so it's going to make my job easier and easier. I can always keep an eye on where it's at. And like I said, you wonder, what's 400 feet? Well, I'm going to show you.
No, it's not. It's gonna fall. Because I'm me.
They have it with the GPS on them and the sensors that they have. I can leave this thing up here and we can fly them at up to about 27-mile-an-hour wind. Very difficult. It's going to have some effect, but if we put it into a hover, I can sit and walk away and it will recover itself to that location. So right there is about 400 feet. Alright? Now, I will let you take a quick look. That's what it looks like at 400 feet.
Oh, look at this shoulder.
Austin, sit down. Okay, just stay here and I'll come around to you guys, okay?
Stand up.
You see it still? Oh, I'm
Watch your tuck, right? Alright? You alright?
Okay, go ahead.
Right there. Stay in there a little bit. Look at that. Over here and look. See it? One girl. See it? That's 400 feet. Did you not get up?
bigger. Alright, here, I only got 2 bags, so you guys each have to share. You and Maddie, and then you and Andrew.
Oh.
Hey, share popcorn.
You didn't get to see. You didn't get to see? There we go. Now I got it working again. Okay, that's what it looks at. Okay, I'm going to have you guys get back over there. That's what it looks at 400 feet. I would have bring it down. I can bring it down anytime I want. Now the reason I showed little kids that and all that is to show you that there is a very significant use for something like that. Now generally we're not going to try and track somebody 400 feet. You're not going to be able to find them. Okay? But one of the privileges we have with the technology is that we can actually take in a field, if we find somebody we want to know or we're looking for, I can indicate that on the iPad. Once I indicate it on the iPad, the drone will automatically follow that individual. Okay? Which is kind of an advantage. So that way I don't have to continue to show and control the drone. Yeah, look at it.
Nope. Yeah.
Question I've been asked a few times, how fast can the drone go? This drone is capable in sport mode going up to about 45 miles an hour. So they're pretty quick. Yeah, it's going to be, you see the flashing lights on it right there? The front is now facing. Right back to where it took off. That's good, because if I lose the chief drone, that's a bad day. I don't want that to happen. Hasn't happened yet. So, that's some of the specific features that we have. I'm trying to think if I caught everything. If you have any questions regarding it, I'm going to be happy to answer. What's that? No, it will not this year. I am positive. You know why? Because we're not allowed to fly by an airport. And airplanes are more than 400 feet in the sky. That's why they set the 400 foot.
Start working.
This pack is put up here between me about 5,000. And that's, you know, with the case and all that extra battery. You can get these things. The DJI Phantoms are available to anybody. So this is not something that's exclusive to like law enforcement agencies and stuff like that. You can get these for recreational use and all that. But the drone alone with, I think, just the battery, you don't get an iPad, a lot of things you use your iPhone with. But you're talking just for the drone and the battery, you're probably talking about $1,400, $1,500. Same thing. Up, down, yeah. The drone will rotate on a single axis, so it means you can spin, you can move it left and right, forward, back.